Well, it's the news a lot of people were waiting for after losing the Dodgers. The Albuquerque Isotopes announced they are signing with another major league team, the Colorado Rockies. The Topes say they have entered into a 4-year contract, one of the longest agreements a team has ever had. This is after a 6-year run with the Dodgers. The Rockies AAA team had been in Colorado Springs for 21 years, but that stadium is much older and smaller than Isotopes Park, which is the main reason the team was attracted to the Duke City.
We're so excited about, the people here and their vision and what they want to do with the Isotopes and how it matches some of the things that we want to do. The facility obviously is it's such a first class.
Best minor league park and team in the whole country. Other options for the Topes were the Houston Astros and Milwaukee Brewers. You can see the full news conference and get other extras on the announcement yesterday at KRQE.com. Well, today, the Albuquerque City Council will vote to establish a new civilian-run police oversight agency. The board would have the power to subpoena officers and witnesses, and it could demand a response from the police chief if the board's recommendations are ignored. Last month, City Council voted to suspend the old Police Oversight Commission and is expected to vote to abolish it at today's meeting as well. This new agency would cost about $750,000 a year to run, and that would come out of the police department's budget. We are getting a sneak peek of the episodes of cops shot in the Albuquerque area with the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department. That iconic song from the beginning of the show. Well, the episode that we got a hold of features Deputy Daniel Portel as he is dispatched to help a man who's threatening to kill himself. Deputy Portel is able to talk the man down. The reality show finished shooting here in Albuquerque in the area back in June, and it brought some controversy with it. Many of Albuquerque's leaders, including Mayor R.J. Berry, did not want the show here. They say it makes the city look bad. However, Sheriff Dan Houston says he wanted cops here because it showcases the high quality of his deputies. Cops has not said when the show shot here will be on TV. A traffic stop caught on tape could land a police officer in a lot of trouble this morning. When Clovis police pulled over this truck last month, the driver's boyfriend, George Corona, asked Officer Brent Aguilar why they were stopped. In response, the officer asked for Corona's ID and never answered that question. When Corona continued to ask why were they pulled over and over again, and he never handed over his ID, the officer arrested him for concealing his identity. Then things got physical.
I should put ID. I asked you for your ID. Stop! Stop!
Well, for that right there, the officer tacked on a charge of resisting arrest. But Corona's attorney here says the officer is the one who should face criminal charges for assault and battery of the man. Corona fractured his cheek, which cost him thousands of dollars in medical bills. Corona believes the police should end up paying for all of that. Clovis police say they have launched an internal affairs investigation into this traffic stop and that Aguilar will be on desk duty until it's done. We are learning more about the South Korean teen who went missing in Albuquerque and ended up in Arizona. Hyung-Soo Chung was here doing missionary work when he disappeared on September 7th. He left everything behind, including his passport. Then Tuesday, Albuquerque police found out that Chung was in a hospital in Plainview, Arizona. They have determined he hitchhiked and walked all the way there. They're still trying to figure out why he left in the first place and how he ended up in the hospital. Police say this is not a criminal investigation, so the hospital is not releasing any information about what Chung is being treated for. Well, a couple of bank robbers are still out there this morning in the Duke City, and Albuquerque police and the FBI are looking for them. Investigators say 2 armed men in their 20s held up this Compass Bank near 98th and Sage yesterday morning. FBI agents say both men are black. One had a faded green tattoo about the size of a quarter on his left cheek. If you know who they are, please call police. Well, the State Livestock Board is investigating a dairy here in New Mexico after undercover video shows workers abusing animals. I do want to warn you, the video is disturbing. I think we tried to cut a lot of the worst stuff out. It was filmed in Winchester Farms, just south of Roswell. At one point, the video shows workers kicking, punching, prodding, even using metal chains to whip the cows. The nonprofit group called Mercy for Animals is the one releasing the video and says it got into the dairy after a group member was hired to work there.
The fact that management, in this case a supervisor of the facility, was repeatedly and directly involved in the animal abuse is one particularly notable fact about this investigation.
If you think the video you're seeing is bad, there is much worse stuff. Winchester Farms provides milk to Leprino Foods. It's a major supplier of cheese to big-name pizza companies. Winchester Farms says it is closed indefinitely right now and launched an internal investigation. It also says the workers in the video have been fired. Well, there has been yet another case of Hantavirus reported here in New Mexico. The New Mexico Department of Health says a man in San Juan County is making the 4th documented case this year. We know the man is 50 years old, is in a hospital where he's being treated for the disease. Investigators are going to the man's home to try to figure out how he got it and limit exposure to others. Hantavirus can be a deadly disease. It is transmitted by rodents through their urine, droppings, and saliva. 2 people have died in New Mexico from the Hantavirus already this year. Well, more than 1 in 5 people here in New Mexico lives in poverty, and that makes us second in the nation for the number of people living in poverty. The U.S. Census Bureau says that 21.9% of New Mexicans lived in poverty last year, which is up more than 22,000 from 2012. Mississippi still leads the nation in poverty. All right, at 5:37 now for some good news, a little bit of it at least. With the holidays just a few months away, Kohls is now hiring for the shopping season. The store wants to hire more than 67,000 people all across the country for the holidays. Kohls also wants to hire more than 9,000 people for its jobs at distribution centers and about 7,000 for its credit operations.